Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Radha and I primarily create videos around Ruby on Rails and React. In this video, we'll be covering Redis. Okay, so I created one video before this which was related to background jobs. This is a video about specifically about Redis. It has nothing to do directly with Rails. I'm just focused on Redis and why we normally use it. And after that, we'll use Sidekick. Okay, which is a combination of background jobs plus Redis plus Sidekick. It is normally used in Rails application. Okay, so let's just focus on Redis in this particular video. Okay, so what is Redis? So on their official website, you can see this. Get the world's fastest in-memory database from the ones who built it. Okay, so what it basically means is that it's a database. Redis is a database in short. Okay. It is an in-memory database, which means that it gets run on RAM. Okay. Now, when it gets run on RAM, there are advantages and disadvantages. What is the advantage? Advantage is something which we read from RAM. There are normally very simplistically, if I say there are two types of reading type of things. One is from RAM and second is from disk. Okay. Disk is like Postgres database or MongoDB database, those kind of things. Okay. So if you are reading something from disk, it will take some extra time. If you are reading something from RAM, it will be very fast. Okay. So that's why Redis is really fast because it is stored on in memory. That's the advantage. What is the disadvantage? If your machine fails, your RAM gets cleared, and that's why it is not a persistent database. Persistent means that it doesn't get saved for really long. Okay, that's the very short version of Redis, but in reality, it works in a very different way. How? So what you do is you use your Postgres database or MongoDB database or any persistent database which can be used on disk. Now, the disadvantage of this is that it doesn't work really fast. Okay, but at the same time, the advantage is that if the machine crashes, the data is still there, right? So on top of this, you use Redis. Okay, and this is our client finally. So on top of this, you use Redis. So what it does is whenever client makes request to Redis, uh, it will check whether that particular thing which user wants is available in cache or not. If it is available in Redis database, it will directly return that. If it is not available, it will go to the database, fetch that, store it in Redis, and then give it. Okay. Now what happens is user 2 comes in place. They again make the same request for the same data. It goes to Redis. The data is already there because the first user requested it, and that's why it is still available and directly gets retrieved from Redis. And that's how this persistent database, which was the MongoDB or the Postgres database, doesn't get hit twice. That means the data gets traveled faster. Okay. So the advantage of Redis, which is making it fast, works for the users, but the disadvantage of Redis, which is that data is not persistent if there is any crash, gets also gets solved because there is a persistent database at the back, which contains the data also. Okay, so that's how the best combination of Redis works. Okay, now how do you actually what type of database it is? Is it a SQL database? Is it a NoSQL database? Technically, it's a NoSQL database. It's not a SQL database. It's a NoSQL database, but it's not. It doesn't have documents like MongoDB and all. It has something called as key value pair. So it's much more similar to JSON structure. Okay, it has keys. It has values. Values can be strings, can be hashes, can be sets, can be lists. Okay, so that's how Redis in general works. We'll write the code. You'll understand how easy it is. We'll see how you should understand these things. Okay, but the shortest answer is a lot of teams use Redis for caching purposes. Okay, some team use it for actual real database also, but they build different things on top of Redis. Some, or actually majority of teams use Redis as a cache storage, and they use some persistent database along with that. Okay, so fast API calls, fast database retrieving can be done via Redis, and if there is some data which we cannot find, which is called a cache miss, then they go to database, fetch it, store it in Redis, and give it to the user so that it is again available for second user in the future. Okay. Now let's see how we can work around it. So simply type install Redis Okay, you will have to use according to your machine. I will use Mac OS. Directly check brewed version in my machine. You will have to follow your own steps actually. Okay, I have a home brew. Let's install. Mostly it is actually already installed, but yeah, that's a auto operating all those things. So let's see how it works. Along with that, I'm just checking. Okay, yeah. By the way, the full form of Redis is uh, remote RE. Remote DIS means dictionary server. Okay, remote dictionary server, which basically dictionary because of key value pair we can say. Okay, so we have installed this. Let's start Redis server. Redis server is starting to if successful, you'll see the startup of this. To stop, Control C. Okay, I don't want to stop this. As an alternative to running Redis in the foreground, this is foreground. So we are actually blocking the terminal for this. That's why foreground. You can also use Launchpad to start the process. So let's use this. Okay, and it has started. Service already started. Great. Now this launches Redis and restarts it at login. You can check the status. Okay, great, great, great. Now we can stop this using this. And finally, we want Redis CLI. So let's do that. Okay, Redis CLI is basically it will allow us to write some Redis related code and understand Redis in better way. Okay, let's use ping pong. That means it is connected to Redis. Okay, ping pong is a very general thing which gets used to make sure that the connection has been established. You can use clear to clear this. Now the very basic simple concept. You use SET. It can be capital, small, it doesn't matter. But SET to set a key and a value. Okay. And the best part is that it provides the hint also. So I'll write key as name and the value as Rajat. Okay. Enter. Okay means it has been done successfully. To get this, we use get name. Okay, if you have used any other programming languages, if you have worked on Android using Kotlin or Java, if you have used cookies, if you have used JSON, you know get set methods easily, right? So get name, and you will see the value is Rajat. Now let's do one more thing. Set age 30. Okay, get age again 30, which is a string. Remember this. Set is adult true. Get is adult true. So you see all the values are stored in string format. Okay, so basically that is what you have to keep in mind. Let's clear this. Now let's check one more thing. First of all, if I exit this and again start Redis CLI, it will be persistent still. Okay, exit exists exists name and it will give one, which means true, it is available. Okay, get name, you can see Rajat. Great. Delete. Okay, so let's try delete. Delete name, deleted successfully. One means successful, zero means false, which is failed. Okay, get name, nil. Great, clear. What else exits? Let's try key. Key star. You can type small or capital, doesn't matter. Keys. Keys star. It will give us all the keys available. Okay. Inside this, we should find our key also, which is age. We added age recently, right? Where is it? All these keys are coming from my different projects. So what I'll do is I'll flush them. Flush FLUSH all. And let's do keys star again, and we can see it's completely empty now. Okay. There is one more thing which is expiring a particular key. So what we can do is set name Rajat, get name. Now what I want is after 10 seconds it gets expired. Okay, so what I'll do is expires name 10. Yes. Enter. No. Expires name 10, tell 10 is not working. So let me see in this. This is official website. In this, let me try to search expires. EXPIRE. Let's try this. Okay, I just have to use expire actually, not expires. Okay, now let's get name. We can Now it is nil. 10 seconds have passed and that's why it is starting to be nil. But there is one problem. Exists name. Okay. No, there is no problem. Actually, that has been cleared. So you can see that how we can make it expire. Okay. And you can also check time to live, which basically means, let me check here. TTL is the command for that. So let's go to T here. TTL. TTL. This one. Okay. Let's use this. Set age 30, expire age, and how many seconds? Let's write 20 seconds. Get age, okay. TTL age, it will give us 14 seconds remaining. TTL age, 11 seconds remaining. TTL means time to live, okay. How long this particular key will remain? 4. And now, once it has failed fully, once it has expired, it will give -2. That means it is not available, nil, basically. Let's clear this also. Anything else? Okay, let's do arrays and those kind of things. So for that, we have something called as L push L range, similar to R push R range. So let's go to L push. How do I know this? I have already applied them at some point or gone through them in while preparing this video, but you don't need to know all these things. You just need to know that you can save key value pairs as strings. You can use arrays, you can use list, you can use set, you can use hashes, okay, as values, okay. And if you know that, then in that case, just remember to go to these commands and try to search in that, okay. That's the main point. So let's try this. L push key can be names, Rajat, okay. Now let's use L range. L range, what is the key, and then start and then stop. So key is names. Start is, this is an array we are talking about, right? So we want to start from 0th index, and when do we want to stop? We don't know how many elements are there in array. So if you don't know number of elements, use -1. Okay. So we have one element which is Rajat. Let's add another one. L push names to names only. Names is our array name. Okay. And use John. L range names 0 -1, and we can see John was added. Okay, now we did L push and that's why it got added to the left side of the array, which is the starting point. If we would have used R push, which we can do here, R push name Sandy, and we can see it has been added. Let's use L range. So you can see John, Rajat, and Sandy. Okay, it got added to the last. So similar to that, we have pop, R pop, all those kind of things. You can go through them in these commands. We don't need to go through them right now just because there is no way that we can end up remembering all these things. Okay, Redis is not something that you end up writing on daily basis. You set it up for a project, do use it a couple of times, and that's it. So the concept is important that Redis is a key value pair. It's an in-memory storage. You use it as a cache alternative. You can use it as a full-time database also, but the best way of using it is to use a full-time persistent database like PostgreSQL in Rails or MongoDB. And on top of that, use Redis as a caching mechanism. And along with that, use save key value pairs in your Redis. Okay, so that's the very gist of it. The main concept, main theory behind making this video is that you should be aware what Redis is, when to use it, which is a caching related thing, and how easy it is. Okay, it's not that hard. That's the main point here. Okay, now once you have understood this, when you want to create some big project, you can remember this. Okay, I can use Redis for these kind of things. So now I will again go through the documentation and start implementing them. Okay. So in next video, I will use SideGate. Along with that, I will use Redis also. So that's it for now. Do consider subscribing this video, like this video, and share it with your friends, and do leave a comment. Thank you. Bye bye.